Ladies and gentlemen, we're live again. It is 10 till 11 Central Daylight or Central Standard. I don't know if we're on Standard or Daylight time. And I don't think that really matters, to tell you the God's honest truth. But we are here on yet another Old Humble game night. We've got, what do we have going on? We are, actually, I want to take a quick look at this game. This is the game that we were playing before. That is, I'm playing Nicaragua. No, was I playing Nicaragua? I don't remember which country I was playing. But I was able to hold on to 6 regions in South Panama, south of the Panama Canal, the south part of Panama. And the 2 main players in this game were just taking their sweet damn time and wrapping it up. And as of 2 days ago, they were just a handful of points away from. There we go. Finally, I got 6 gold out of this game because, I got my ass handed to me pretty quick. Come on, show me the victory conditions. So this is what happened. I was Nicaragua. I was up here. Okay, so welcome to the Old Humble Distilling Company game night. I am the Old Humble guy, fresh off of our quarantine happy hour that was on at 9 o'clock, 9 to 10, 30-ish. So that's why I'm in my full Old Humble guy. There we go. Now I'm in my full Old Humble guy gear, but I want to actually be able to see what I'm doing. So here's my evening readers that I have on. Actually, these are proper glasses. Anyway, so I was here, Nicaragua. This was my jam. Took on Yucatan, wrapped them up, and then these guys over in Nuevo Leon decided that I had been around for far too long and wiped my ass off the map. But I had 2 submarines, and I was able to park those 2 submarines right here in the Panama Canal and stopped Nuevo Leon. Stopped Nuevo Leon from coming across into Panama on the south side of the map there. I was able to stop them and preserve my final 6 points. So I was able to outlast the map. It took them 3 days to wrap this game up. They were in basically checkmate position on Tuesday, I believe it was Monday, Memorial Day. They were in checkmate position, and all they needed to do was get like 100 points, and it took them 3 days to get the 100 points, and that was just unconscionable. It took a ridiculous amount of time, but I'm glad that game's done, so I don't have to worry about it. I can move it into archives, which I'm going to do now, and that leaves me to focus on this final game, game number 3924719, in which I am playing California. The goal, the intent on this particular map was to not be at war with half of the players on the map. So when I was playing Texas, okay, so what Conflict of Nations is it's a real-time strategy game. It's a real-time strategy game. In the map that I'm playing is the North America map. It goes from Panama to Canada. Actually, it doesn't even go to Alaska, if I'm not mistaken. It goes British Columbia across to Quebec and Ontario. It doesn't even go all the way out to Alaska. Let's zoom out. We can see where it stops. Nope, come on. Where are we going? Yeah, see, it stops there on the west coast of the USA, goes up to British Columbia, and it does not go all the way up into Alaska. It stops right there at BC. So it's a real-time strategy map, and when they say real-time, they mean real-time. Like an hour in game is an hour in real life. And the scale of the game is the same. So if you're driving from Houston to Dallas, for example, it takes roughly 4 hours to go from Houston to Dallas. And if I were to take this, come on, here's a unit in Dallas. If I were to take this unit in Dallas and tell him to move to Houston down here in Texas, just just a little jaunt down to the Gulf Coast, that would take 3 hours and 7 minutes. So it is like legit real time. I can make the trip from Houston to Dallas in about 3.25, 3.5 hours. If I stop and get gas, stop and get food, it takes close to 4 hours if I'm taking my time. Throw in a little bit of traffic, take a little bit more. Okay, so the goal in this particular map, as I'm playing California, was to avoid going into extraneous wars. When I was playing Texas in the first 27 or so episodes of this game, I was playing Texas, and I rolled up and I went to war with like all the central states, all at the same time, and I ended up being at war with 15 countries, all at the same time. And if we look at the diplomacy screen here, this diplomacy screen will show us that there is something like there's 32 player positions, and then how many non-player positions are there? 32 player positions, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with the Bahamas. So there's 39 positions total in the game, and I was at war with 15 of them at one point when I was playing Texas. So when I jumped onto this map with California, my intention and my goal was to avoid being at war with anybody that I didn't have to not be at war with. So that's where we're at right now. That's where we're at with this particular map. I have taken over all of the Northwest, as you can see. From California, I went into Nevada, Utah, and I made my way across Utah, Wyoming, Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota. Went through Oregon and went to war with Washington. Got Washington wrapped up. Got Saskatchewan wrapped up, and then I moved back into that left British Columbia, Alberta, Idaho, and Montana. So then I went to war with British Columbia, worked my way through Idaho, and then through Montana. Then went to war with Colorado, took down Colorado and New Mexico. And then Texas declared war on me, so I went and took out Texas. And now we are here where we're at now. The war with Texas started on Monday, and we wrapped that up literally today, just like in fact, I think I took the last province from Texas. It's in one of these 7 updates. Rock Springs territory conquered. That was at 4:22:23 game time. It is 4:52 game time. So that was literally 30 minutes ago. The war with Texas has been wrapped up and put away. The next stop is Arkansas, which is only the city of Little Rock. I'll be wrapping up Arkansas next, and then moving into clean up Kansas and Missouri. This is Illinois right here. We'll go ahead and take on the task of cleaning up Illinois and wrapping that up. And then I believe I'm going to turn my attention to Arizona, Chihuahua, Nuevo Leon, and move my way south. Over here we have Virginia in the east. Virginia is the number 2 position player in the country, in the game. I don't want to go to war with Virginia if I don't have to. I am perfectly content with letting him wrap up the eastern states. He's got all of this over here he needs to finish cleaning up. Florida, Louisiana. He's recently started going to war with Louisiana, and it looks like he hasn't jumped across the river yet. But I'm okay with him taking all of that. He can have it. He can clean up Maine, New Brunswick, go into Quebec, take Ontario. I'm fine with all that. No, he can take all of this, and he still won't have 1,700 points to end the game before I can. So I can move down Arizona, Chihuahua, Nuevo Leon, Jalisco, Mexico. This is all Nicaragua down here. They're the number 3 position player in the country or in the game. So that's kind of the strategy that I'm looking at right now. Is just basically race my way down here, and I'm hoping. I don't know. I don't know if this is how it's actually going to play out, but I'm hoping that I can avoid going into direct conflict with Virginia. Now there is a chance. There's a real chance in this particular strategic scenario. Let me make the screen bigger. There's a real chance in this particular strategic scenario that they could get enough provinces. In fact, I'm going to pour myself a drink. This episode brought to you by the Old Humble Distilling Company. Old Humble Distilling Company's straight whiskey. Ask for it by name. It's delicious, nutritious, and it'll make you a better dancer. And it's also not nutritious. Testing. Yep, there we go. All right, so my microphone just died. You're just going to have to trust me that I can hear me. I think I can hear me. I need to verify that I can hear me because my microphone just died. How did my microphone just die? There it is. Okay, I can hear me. Good. Okay, so what we're going to do now. Let me look at my build orders. I think what I've done is I've put in a whole bunch of orders for our secret weapons facilities. I put in a bunch of orders for those. I want to expand my capabilities or expand my secret weapons production by one facility, and then upgrade all the others. I've got three level 2 facilities. I want to upgrade to level 3 facilities. Then I've got 2 level 1 facilities that I'm updating to a level 2 facility. And then I also need an airport in Cedar Rapids for facilitation of transporting units back and forth when they get built. Now, I've also got a level 5 hospital in Yakima. Yakima is way far away from the front lines of everything, so I am building up my hospital in Cheyenne so that I can move my damaged units to a place that is closer to home. Now, Yakima is connected with an airport, so I can move units from, let's say, Amarillo to Yakima, as long as they are supported by airlift. And that is what I'm going to do with this infantry unit. They are going to go straight to Yakima now. This bomber, these bombers are almost rehabilitated. So this level 5 hospital in Yakima gives you 6 hit points a day in restoration power. Restoration of hit points, reinforcements, whatever, recovery. And that is really good to have because it is much cheaper to repair units than it is to replace units. So we're going, now that we're done with the war in Texas, we're going to send everybody who's even a little bit damaged back to Yakima. I'm going to spend a couple of days building the secret weapons facilities. There is a reason I'm building up these weapons facilities. I have initiated my chemical weapons program, and the next step will be the nuclear weapon program. I have never had a nuclear weapons program in this game, and I have never launched a chemical or nuclear weapon. I currently have, you can see up here, I have 30 conventional warheads, and I use them on the tips of cruise missiles right now because I don't have any ballistic or any ballistic missiles or ICBMs or anything like that. So all of this guy can go to Cheyenne.
Where is he at? Cheyenne. Boom. Oh, that's nice. I was not expecting that. Our recon vehicles can be airlifted. That's good. Well, anyway, he can go to Cheyenne. He's fine. Artillery, tanks, they're doing fine. Those bombers are doing fine. That was doing fine. That's an AWACS. It's doing fine. That AWACS is in Cheyenne, getting repaired. That's fine. That's fine. Those tanks are fine. Let's get this guy. This infantry. Where's he at? Get him to Cheyenne. I think I want to build another split. I think I want to build at least one more hospital, a level 5 hospital. Level 5 hospitals also give you the benefit of a population boost. And that's nice and helpful too. You get a nice population boost with your hospitals, which also helps towards the victory condition for the game. So there you go. Y'all doing fine. Y'all are doing fine. Most of these units are doing fine. We didn't lose a lot during the war with Texas because I used artillery a lot. All right, you're in Dallas. You need to go to Yakima, to the military hospital in Yakima. They get excellent care. It's like Ramstein Air Force Base. You get excellent care there. That's what I'm told. Who's next? He's heading to Yakima. He's fine. He's heading to Yakima. He's fine. They're fine enough. They're fine. All right, I think we got everybody taken care of. Okay, so I've got my move orders down. Let's look at the research and see what's going on with the research. So here's the chemical weapons program. So I initiated the chemical weapons program. I was horrified, I tell you, to see in the stupid newspaper the announcement. Freaking announcement. Why the hell are you going to announce this crap? They announced on turn 42. Look at this. I mean, nobody reads the newspaper, so it's fine. But the freaking announcement, California initiating chemical weapons program. Like, shut up, newspaper. Nobody asked you. So when I initiate my military or my nuclear weapons program, that will be no doubt announced for all the world to see and hear. Virginia is just rolling ham. They're just rolling over all these positions around him. He did reach out and ask me to join to form a coalition with him, and together, like I've got 1,000, he's got 700. Together, we could easily wrap this game up. Because a two-person coalition wraps up the game at 2,000 points. So that means we would wrap this game up at, together we'd have 17. We would wrap it up 300 points from now. I am trying to get a solo win for the first time. This is my 13th game. This is the 13th. Let me double check my stats here. I think this is either the 12th or the 13th game that I've joined. I'm looking at my stats real quick. This is the 12th game that I joined. I got 5 coalition wins in the 12th game that I've joined. This is just the stats for this particular game. 5 coalition wins. I don't have any solo wins yet. So I told him, it wouldn't be optimal. I want to get a solo win out of this. Now, what that means, of course, oh, hey, no limits, you joined me. Yeah, he says if they find out that I've got weapons of mass destruction, the U.S. is going to get mad. Well, I am the U.S., so screw those guys. What I want to do with these chemical weapons and the nuclear weapons is just kind of keep them in my back pocket and hold on to them, just in case I need. I don't want to use them. I don't think I have to use them. Well, what the hell do I care? I actually kind of want to use them. Uh, but if the game gets to the point where I can't win without going to war against Virginia, then I want to have those in my pocket so that I can go to war against Virginia. Because here's what I know about these guys. Without disclosing my intelligence, there's a 90% chance he is not watching this live stream, either now or later. So, you can see the cities that they have. Virginia has, look at his position here. He has got 700 points. He has control of 337 provinces there. He has 55 cities. Yes, mutually assured destructions in imminent ensured destruction on his part. I intend to maintain a technological advantage over them as much as I can. So he has 55 cities. Out of the 55 cities, I can actually scroll through the cities that he has. He has homeland cities, occupied cities. There's three classifications of cities. There's annexed city, occupied city, and homeland city. Occupied cities, you can't do anything in an occupied city except make money off of them. You can build things in them, you can make money off of them, but that's it. Homeland cities are the 5 or 6 cities that you start with. They're the ones that you can build things in. You can build units in these homeland cities, and they're the 5 or 6 cities that you start with. So obviously, Virginia has Norfolk, Richmond, Fredericksburg, Charlottesville, Lynchburg, and Roanoke. Charleston is West Virginia, and that is an occupied city. So that's his 5 cities. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 that he starts with. So I can scroll through the rest of his city list, and I'm going to do it quickly. You can see what we've got: occupied city, occupied city, occupied city, occupied city, occupied city, occupied city. He's got 50 occupied cities and 5 homeland cities, or 49 and 6, which means, this compared to my own position over here, where I've got 62 cities or something like that, and I've got annex city, occupied city, annexed. I've got a bunch of annex cities too, which means I have a broader economic base than he's got. Which means if I decide it's time to go to war against him, if I have to go against him, because I have to get 1,700 points. There's only so many provinces on the map. If he starts gobbling up the ones that I need in order to get my victory condition, all I've got to do is take out 5 cities. So Norfolk, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cities. Roanoke, Lynchburg, Charlottesville, Richmond, Fredericksburg, Norfolk. Done. He can't produce more units. If I drop nukes on those cities, he can't produce more units. If I launch an amphibious invasion and take those cities from him, he can't produce more units. His game is over. It's ended. It's finished. It's done. I can then go through and use conventional warheads and take out the rest of his units, and that ensures that I can get my victory conditions. I have a lead, but I don't have an insurmountable lead. I need to keep these little warheads in my pocket so that I can make sure that I can get to them. And this, and like I was saying in the show earlier today, the quarantine happy hour, this totally goes in keeping with. This is why I like this game, because when I was a consultant back 10 years ago, 12 years ago now, that was I wrote this small book. It's books, by the way. When you're in a small business, a book is a much better thing to hand a person than a business card, especially if you're a business consultant. If a short little 150 or so page book that just kind of spells out your business philosophy to a prospective client is a great way to get clients. It means you've thought about what you're doing, you've thought about what uh, your business model, you've thought about what you're trying to do, and you can hand it to them in a cohesive layout. And plus, it looks really cool. It's a book. It's an actual fucking book. Um, but my whole philosophy was this three-part business system where you have the reservoir, if you will, your inventory. You have your transmission, your pipes, the transmission pipes, and then the conversion, which is your actual market that you use to turn your inventory into money. And if you look at this map, his reservoir is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cities. That's it. His conversion is the rest of his cities and the rest of his income that's bringing in some income. But basically, he can only produce 5 units every 24 hours. And if I take out 2 or 3 of these cities, he can only produce 2 or 3 units. I've got like 3 times as many cities where I can produce units than he does. My economy is twice the size of his. My technology is twice as advanced. Um, if it comes down to a grinding war of attrition, I've got uh, I've got I've got the firepower to take him down if I need to. I don't think it'll come to that because I think this map is big enough that both of us can live amicably together. He can and at the end of the game he can get his 1,000 gold points or 1,000 gold credits, whatever he gets at the end of the game. He'll be fine. Um, we don't have to physically attack each other, which is one of the other cool things about this game. Using game theory, I don't have to attack him. This game, God, this game has so many fun levels, and that's one of the reasons why I like this game. It on the business, on the strategic level, it models after the business that I'm trying to build. But on the personal level, the game level, um, I can play this game as if I'm playing against a person and make the game really unfun for the person and make them rage quit. Uh, that's a shitty way to play the game. That's a shitty way to play any online game. But more importantly, I can play it on the game level. I can play it as two rational operators. He has incentive to survive to the end of the game. I have no specific incentive to take him out for no reason at all. Um, Now, if it gets to the point where we're crowded and we have a lack of resources, and I have to, physically fight over the resources, and that may be how this game is this game lines up. Because if I look at, let's go to the diplomacy section and look and see real quick, because I've got Chihuahua. Let's see here. Chihuahua's 100 points. Uh, who's next? Arizona is next at 95, so that's 200 points between us and Chihuahua and Arizona. That's 200. Look, I need 700 to wrap up this game. So that's 2. And then let's move further south into Mexico. That's 50, so that's 250 points. Further south into Nuevo Leon, that's another 80. That's 330 points. Further south into where's Nicaragua? There they are. That's another 300 points. So if I keep going south, I should be able to get the conditions that I need. Arizona. Let's look at the political map. This will show me the borders that I need to see. Look at the political view. So these are the different countries that I need to go through. Jalisco, there it is. So Nicaragua goes all the way down to the south of the map. There's Jalisco. Is that Mexico? Yeah. So we've got all these countries. Between all these countries, I should be able to get 700 points. I don't have to fight Virginia. Virginia has to fight me if they want to, because I have control of the map here to be able to get my 700 points. Virginia has to fight me, so I have to have enough firepower at my disposal to make sure he doesn't fight me. That he will be happy to sit back with his 800 points or whatever and relax. Now he's got over here. He's got Quebec. That'll give him. He may have 1,000 points at his disposal. Let's look and see real quick. So, he's got 700 now. He needs 1,000. So let's go the other direction. American Georgia has 4. That's the wrong way. Come on. The Bahamas has 13. Let's look at the big ones. Quebec, 63. Ontario is 136. So let's call that 200 between the two of them because Ohio has a few. He needs 1,000. So he's got 200 there. New York has 17. Montana, Missouri, Minnesota. Let's say he goes after Minnesota and Michigan. That's another 220, 230. Let's call it 250 for everybody else. So he's got 250 plus these guys up here, Quebec, and what was it? That was 200. That's 450. Let's round it up to 500 because there's a few stragglers like Missouri and things like that. Let's say he gets those. Louisiana, let's call that another 100. So that's 600 that he has with Louisiana. Let's say he grabs what's left of Illinois. That's another 80. So 680. Florida is 60, and let's say he gets Haiti as well. Florida, Haiti, and Cuba. So 680. Let's say he grabs these. That's another 220. So that's 800 and something. 820. Who else can he go after? Ooh. Goodness gracious, he may have to come after me. He's going to get really close to his victory condition without attacking me. But I don't know if he can close the game out without attacking me. He's going to have to come down here into Panama at least. This is going to be interesting how this shapes up over the next 20 days. This is going to be very interesting how this shapes up over the next 20 days because he's going to have to. He's going to absolutely, positively, 100% have to rack up more points than what he has available to him east of the Mississippi and north of the Great Lakes. Even if you throw in Minnesota, which was only like 85 points, I think, 100 points. Yeah, even if you throw in Minnesota and Ontario, and yeah, this is going to be. I may have to be going to war against Virginia. This is going to be an interesting game the way this shapes up. This is okay. I haven't looked at this yet. I just assumed that he would have enough space over here to kind of grow his way out. I figured we may come to blows down here in South or Central America, but this is shaping up as a potential strategic issue where he may just come at me here in the Mississippi Valley area. So I need to be prepared to make sure that this dude doesn't come at me here in the middle, because I've got enough land available to me here in the Southwest and central states here to get my 17 if that's the direction I want to go. But I may have to. I'm going to have to think on this and figure out which way I want to go because I may have to cockblock him here in Louisiana just to force him to go south. But I may leave Louisiana the way it is just to give him the idea that he may be able to pull enough. That may get him close enough to not worry about it. Huh. Interesting. So this is the game theory part of this game that just makes it a fun strategy game. I mean, the other half of it, the economic part of it, that's my jam. That's where I go and I'll sit down for hours and build a industry tycoon or Sim City game or whatever it is that floats your boat. Doing a farm simulator or moonshine madness or something like that that replicates that three-part system where you have the inventory of goods. In this case, it's everything that's being made in all the regions. This is my inventory up here, my resources, and then my conversion system, which is my active cities, my homeland cities, and my annex cities, and then of course the output being tanks and planes and ships and all that other stuff, and a portion of that output, of course, has to go back into the business in order to continue development, either whether it's research or units. So what I think I'm going to make an effort to not do is go to war with any position that's already at war with Virginia. I'm just going to let them deal with their own problem that they've made over there in the east. What I am going to do is clean up these positions that are not at war with Virginia. So if you look over here at Virginia and see what's going on, they are at war with Ohio, Ohio, Georgia, Louisiana, Florida, New York, Maine, and Quebec. So I'm not going to bother attacking Louisiana. I'm going to let Louisiana continue to exist. But Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, they said Illinois, they're at war with Illinois, right? Look at that real quick. Illinois is at war. No, they are not at war with Virginia, so that's fine. I can clean up this territory here, clean up Illinois, and then that leaves everything else, and they're still at war. And one of the drawbacks, this is one of the hidden drawbacks for being when you're at war with another country outside your own border, what happens is your morale overall gets decreased. So if your morale within your borders is decreased, that reduces the ceiling of economic production within your provinces. So as your morale is depressed because you're at war with 10 different positions, the ceiling of economic production goes down, and that hinders your ability to develop your economy and produce more units. That reservoir shrinks. So that's one of the reasons why I've tried to avoid being at war with a bunch of positions at the same time. If I'm not at war, my morale is higher. I make more money. So I want that reservoir to be as big as I can possibly make it, and then I want to have as many cities as I can to convert that money to more tanks and artillery. So, and another thing that I've done in this game is I've avoided spending gold. I wanted to get a solo win without spending gold. And gold, there's nothing wrong with spending gold. Gold is the pay-to-play part of this game. You can go into, let's say I need electronics. I'm short on electronics. What do? I can spend 2,300 gold, buy 4,000 electronics. Where's that at over here? 2,300 gold and buy 4,000 electronics if I want to. And gold's not expensive. I will spend dollars to buy electronics. Gold's not expensive. You can look over here and what it is. It's like, $20, you can get like 100,000. Let's see, click to buy more gold. Let's see what it is. I can tell you what it is. I don't think that screen's going to come up, but I can tell you, gold. Yeah, $20 you get 55,000 units gold pieces. That's not particularly expensive. Um, I am on principle for this particular game. I'm trying to avoid spending gold. There have been other games that I was getting my ass handed to me, and I tried to spend a lot of gold to catch up with that dude, but he basically had an infinite supply of gold, and I couldn't keep up with him. So I got crushed. It was embarrassing. Um, but in this particular game, there's a couple of times where I accidentally bought it, and when I say accidentally, I mean like I came over here and I was looking at my cities, and you look at the cities, Yakima, for example, and I hit this button instead of a different button, and that accelerates your build time. That's all it was. Uh, that that's all it was. And then there's nothing wrong with gold. Gold in this game is part of the game. You spend some money, you buy some gold, you can speed up some production, you can do some things like that. There's nothing wrong with it. On principle, I just wanted to see if I could do it. Just to see if there was a way to play a pay to play or a pay to win game so that you could just simply play and win. It's not easy. It's extremely hard to do, and it takes a tremendous amount of patience. But this game is uh, a patience enforcing game. Um, if you're going to play this game, you have to have a tremendous amount of patience because it can take, uh, I mean, it can take 24 hours, 48 hours to build things. And that's crazy. I mean, it took me um, Monday, from Monday until today. I launched the first attacks against Texas on Monday, Memorial Day, at I think it was 5:45. And I know it was 5:45 because I timed the attacks to start at 5:45 because that was 15 minutes before the end of the day, uh, and that's when we wrapped up the Texas campaign in the other game. So I wanted actual action to happen in this game during the stream. So I timed the attacks to start at that time. So it was 5:45 p.m. and I just wrapped up um, the war with Texas, and it was all the provinces of Texas. It was all of Texas uh, and Arkansas and these regions through Kansas. That's all it was. And it took uh, Monday evening, all day Tuesday, all day Wednesday, and almost all day. Well, pretty much all day today. So it took 4 days to wrap up the war with Texas. So when they say real time, they're not fucking around. This is like legit real time. It takes 4 hours to go from one city to the next. Uh, oh, and just point of note, um, Eric was talking about the trip from Houston to El Paso. If I were to drive to El Paso from Houston in this game, it would be estimated arrival 9 hours and 15 minutes. They say 9 hours and 15 minutes from Houston to El Paso. I know for a fact it's 13. Actually, it's 11. 13 if you take a couple of stops along the way. It is an easy 11-hour trip. 9 hours is an unrealistic expectation to get from Houston to El Paso. God, it's like 1,000 miles. Um, anyway, enough of that. So we have our build orders. We have our uh, excuse me, goodness gracious, it's almost midnight. We have our build orders. We have our research orders in. And once the chemical weapons program is done, I'm going to go ahead and go right on to the nuclear weapons program and build up from there. I might just go with the cruise missile upgrade and the ballistic missile upgrade, but the nuclear program is not far. That will be very quickly, on the books, very quickly in the works. Chad, if you got any questions, if you want to join me in a game, Yeah, if you leave at 1 a.m., yeah. If you leave at 1 a.m., it probably is not that hard to get from. Okay, so this is why I flew to El Paso when I went to El Paso for my sales trip. The drive to El Paso is not that bad. I mean, it's long, it's dreadful. Once you get past San Antonio, there's nothing. There's absolutely nothing between San Antonio and El Paso. There's 3.5 hours from Houston to San Antonio, and then there's like 6 hours or 7 hours to El Paso. So here's the problem. I pride myself on being a road warrior. I have no problem driving. I drive to Dallas and back in the same day. That's not that big of a deal. It's a long commute. It's 8 hours in the car. It sucks. Don't get me wrong, but there's worse things to do with your time than go and sell whiskey and make money for your company, right? Here's the problem with going to El Paso. Stores are open between 11 a.m. and 10 p.m. 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. Tastings can be done between 11 and 2, 2 to 5, and 5 to 8. 11, 2, 5. Those are the three times. If I want to get to El Paso by 11 a.m., I need to leave Houston by 11 p.m. And that means I'm driving through the fucking night, and that sucks. I mean, Road Warrior, great. Leave at 8 in the morning, get there at 8 at night. Easy, no problem. You got to leave the day before. You got to get a hotel room. You got to spend the entire day there the next day. Spend the next night in a hotel room. Then the entire day the next day on the road. So you leave Thursday, do your tasting Friday, leave on Saturday, and then you're finally home on Sunday. That is a dreadful way to work. It's just dreadful. And you're not saving any money because you're spending an extra day, 2 nights in a hotel versus the flight, one hotel, and you're home the next day. You're home by lunch. So that's why I flew to El Paso. That's why I didn't bother driving to El Paso. San Antonio, Austin, Dallas, Corpus Christi, those being within range of Houston, that's easy. I can do that, no problem. Hell, one day I had to go to from Houston to Beaumont, back to Houston, back to Beaumont, and back to Houston, all in the same day. So that was like an hour and a half from Houston to Beaumont, hour and a half from Beaumont to Houston. That was 3 hours. Then Houston to Beaumont, Beaumont back to Houston. That was 6 hours in the car to literally go nowhere, just to make deliveries of whiskey. That was a dreadful day. Don't want to do that again. Next time I go to Beaumont, it's going to be just a trip from here to Beaumont and Beaumont back home. That's worth the effort. Totally worth the effort. And Beaumont, like I said, Beaumont's only like 90 minutes away. Not that far. In Texas, 90 minutes is a commute into the office in the morning. But in other places like Connecticut, 90 minutes is like 3 states away. They don't get it. They don't get it in Connecticut. Screw those guys. Love you, Connecticut. Buy my whiskey. Let's see here. What else? I got to think about the game theory aspect of what's going on here. I might shear off the western part of Louisiana just to be confrontational with Virginia. I don't know. But Louisiana's at war with Virginia. I want them to stay at war with Virginia. And that's fine. I don't want to help. I don't want to help if I don't have to. Minnesota, I believe I said Minnesota was at war with Virginia. What is going on with Minnesota? Yeah, they're not at war with Virginia. So I might take on Minnesota. Just clean that mess up. Just because it's easy pickings. Easy victory points to be had. We shall see. What you got there, Eric? 90 minutes in Houston is... You are so very correct. 90 minutes in Houston is I overslept 15 minutes and caught the damn traffic. That is so absolutely fucking true. Most people, y'all got no idea. Like there's a window. There's these windows. When you get on the freeway, it's easy sailing. It's smooth from home to the office. No problem. I worked before the distillery, I worked at a bank, and the two office locations I worked at were in the Greenway Plaza area and Galleria area. And for those of you who don't know how Houston is laid out, Houston is basically a series of concentric circles. There's downtown, and then there's the Loop 610 area, which is the inner loop. Then there's Beltway 8, which is the outer loop. Then there's this giant other loop that literally 99, the giant loop is the size of Ireland. It is that big, the super metro area where the loop is. It's the size of Ireland. And like you don't have to believe me. I can pull up that screen. Houston City scale to Ireland. Let's see if I can find this picture here. Houston is so much bigger. Okay, so here's a picture of Houston with New York. What is this? Is that? Hang on, I'm looking at a picture. Hang on, I'll bring this picture up. This is a picture of. Okay, so this we're gonna switch screens here. Stop screen. This is an article out of Texas Monthly. Like Houston is insane big, and I may be exaggerating about the size of the super outer loop being the size of Ireland. But this is Houston superimposed. Come on, shut up, man. I don't want to subscribe. This is Houston superimposed on Paris. There it is. This is Houston superimposed on Paris. Much bigger than Paris. This is Houston superimposed on San Francisco. Much bigger than San Francisco. And this isn't even all of Houston. This is just Beltway 8. And for the record, up here where Richmond is, up here where Richmond is, that's pretty much where Humble is. That's from downtown Houston here in the middle up to this spot where Richmond is. That's pretty much about 15 miles, give or take. My first office when I was working at the bank is over here on the left side of the inner loop where this freeway here on the southwest side of Houston touches that loop. And then the second office location was about halfway between that loop and downtown. So this is Houston superimposed on Manhattan, New York City. Much bigger than New York. This is a map of, is that Oahu? Hawaii, the Big Island? Honolulu, yeah. We're as big as, look at that. We're as big as the Big Island of Hawaii. And mind you, there's another loop out here outside of that is not being included in that map. Houston is even bigger than this map that they're talking about. This is superimposed on London. The actual map of Houston, maps.google.com. Let's look at that. If we zoom out, like I can show you this. Okay, so here's that map that they were showing. This is the Houston. This is that inner loop that I was talking about. See, this is that inner loop. This is downtown. This is the inner loop. This is that Beltway. It's called Beltway 8. And you see my search history over here. Specs. This is that Beltway 8 right here. This is Humble up here in the upper right-hand corner or upper north section. That's the airport, Intercontinental Airport. My office was down here on the southwest side of town, down here. Then the second office was kind of halfway here in the middle. Now, this other loop, look at that. This other loop up here, just north of Spring, under the Woodlands. This loop here, 99. Look at that. That is even bigger. That's like another 10 to 15 miles outside of Beltway 8. That's even bigger than Beltway 8. So Beltway 8 was big enough to be Honolulu, the island of Honolulu in Hawaii. If you add that big loop around with 99, that's even bigger, man. Houston's a big damn place, and we're not kidding. From where I'm at up here in Humble, when I drive down to Corpus Christi, I've gone so far off the rails talking about game night tonight. When I drive down to Corpus Christi, zoom out just a little bit. There's Victoria. Corpus Christi is right here. A third of the trip, I shit you not. We start here, up in Humble, up on the upper left-hand or north side of town. By the time I'm out of Houston, this is a solid hour drive when we get through Sugarland. Sugarland, home of Imperial Sugar, by the way, which is the largest sugar manufacturer or used to be the largest sugar manufacturer in the country, based here in Houston. They were sold to a giant sugar conglomerate. The sugar factories on the southwest side of town were closed down. But yeah, that's the first hour of the trip. The next 2 hours is getting all the way down to Corpus Christi. And all this land, just for reference, all this land down here between Corpus Christi and Houston, that's rice country there. And all this land over here east of Houston, you go east of Houston to, let's say, Lake Charles, and then go up to like towards Shreveport, Longview, like all of that big thickened area, that is all rice country. All of it, rice country. And it is, man, we have so much rice. We're going to make so much rice whiskey. It's going to be insane. I don't imagine the rice whiskey being this big seller in the stores, but we will. It's going to be delicious. It's going to be absolutely delicious. And you can see San Antonio is about the same distance from Houston to San Antonio as Houston to Corpus Christi. And then, geez, that's Highway 99. That is Highway 99 right there. I want to zoom out and go back to Hawaii over here. Where is it? I'm nerding on a map. That's Honolulu. All of this was Houston. All of this map of Honolulu was Houston. And that didn't even include the outer ring of Highway 99. That's just absolutely, the scale of the city is just insane to me. We have a very low population density in Houston, but the city itself is just immense. So there you go. Let's go back to the game. Eric says, what you saying, Eric? Lived in Pearland and Dickinson for years and never knew why Sugarland got its name. Pearland and Dickinson, by the way, are on the southeast side of town, for those of you who don't know. Southeast side of town down towards Galveston in that direction. Pearland actually was, my understanding is it was home to a pear farm, pear grove plantation, whatever they call it, that makes pears. I don't know what they call it. Dickinson, I guess it was named after some dude named Dickinson. Dickinson is home of no, I can't remember. It's like it's this little city off to the side of I-45 on the way to Galveston. Heartbreakers. That's what it is. It is the home of the only all-new, or used to be the only all-nude strip club in the Houston area, Heartbreakers. Every bachelor party ended up there at some point during the night. So there you go. For what that's worth. Okay, so back to the game. I think it's probably time to wrap this up. It's been an hour. And one of these days, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna set the move orders in, and I'm just gonna let them run, and I'm gonna let the game go, and I'm gonna go to bed. So y'all can kind of see the action happening real time as it happens. Like, this whole thing is like a slow motion train wreck. The other map that we play, there's another map that is in the game that is 4x speed game. It's an entire world map. There's 64 player positions instead of 32. The 64 player positions, it's an entire world map, so it has all of North America, all of South America, Asia, Europe, Africa, and Australia, I believe, is even on the map. And it runs 15 minutes is an hour. 15 minutes real time is an hour game time. And that game runs at a much faster pace. But because I have a job and I have to work and I have to do stuff during the day, I can't babysit that game all day long. That is, it's too fast of a pace for me. So I can't manage the time in that game. With this game, I can manage it. I can say, okay, everybody go to war, go do your thing. Send people from units from El Paso to Amarillo to Houston. I can put stuff on the borders of Arizona, and then the next day just attack Arizona, or attack Arizona, then go to bed, come back the next morning and see how things are going. I can't do that in the other game, and I haven't figured out how to manage that game yet. It makes for very exciting games because they move really fast, but I just can't keep up with them. So more often than not, when I've started those games, everything has gone tits up after about 2 weeks. I can manage it for 2 weeks. I get through the opening gambit, where this game goes in like 3 phases. There's an opening gambit where it's basically a land rush for several days. You go out and get as much land as you can, as quickly as you can. It's kind of this right-off jump. Then the next phase is this consolidation phase, where you're building up units, you're building up economy, you're going against you're identifying the next opponents to go against, and you're just kind of steadily accruing land and power. And then the final phase is the end game phase, where you built up all the economy you're going to build. Everything starts going into units, and then you just send them out to take what you want to take. You start imposing your will on the map, if you will. In the full globe maps, I've never made it past the opening gambit. When we get into that next phase where you start accruing power and consolidating what you have, I always get wiped out. And I haven't figured out how to get past that stage yet, partly because I can't manage the pacing of the game. And that is mostly because I have a job and I have a life and I have things I have to do other than sit here and do this all day long. I can spend a couple hours doing this during the day, but then I gotta move on and go do other shit. I can't handle that. So yeah, next targets are going to be. I'm going to move from Texas up into, well, Arkansas has already been targeted, but we go from Texas up into Kansas, and we move through Kansas and clean up these little units, these little spaces here. This is Illinois. I may go ahead and go up here. There's some yummy little cities up here in Illinois. There's Champaign, there's Springfield. Excuse me. There's Peoria. Michigan has a few yummy little spots, and they are not at war with Virginia, so I may go ahead and just plow up through here. Illinois' got Chicago. Minnesota is Minnesota. I don't think Minnesota is at war with Virginia either. Yeah, so if I move up through here, it has a dual benefit. One of providing victory points for me, but the other is denying victory points to Virginia. And if I can cut him off at the pass here, that will put some pressure on him to. That'll put some pressure on him, and maybe he attacks me and gives me a reason to attack him back. I don't know. I haven't thought that game theory through quite enough yet, but definitely Kansas, definitely Missouri, definitely Arkansas. Illinois is a question mark. Uh, then that should be wrapped up in a couple of days, and then we move on to Arizona, and then just start going south. I may just move south and just target the cities. Um, I don't know how I'm going to do that yet. Um, but that's going to be the next phase. After we wrap up the Midwest there in Central States, it's going to be just a mad dash south. Because I've got enough victory points waiting for me in the South here that I can wrap this game up. The faster I get down to Panama, the quicker I lock Virginia out of any of these provinces, the quicker I can wrap this game up. And then, only then, will I decide whether or not I want to go after. Only then will I decide. My guess is in about 10 days, by this time next week or this time 2 weeks from now, I will know for sure if I'm going to have to be thrown down against New Orleans. And by this time, 2 weeks from now, I will have a sizable arsenal of both chemical and nuclear weapons at my disposal. So we shall see how things shape up, because I don't know how things are going to shape up. And Eric, you've offered to do my tastings, but we'll see, man. We will see. I'm pretty jealous about doing my tastings because if I gotta make if I gotta make the trip out to if I gotta make the trip out somewhere, we gotta sell some fucking bottles to justify the expense. And that's just how it is. But I might take you up on that. I'm not sure if the faster game is more fun though. I'm sure it makes for better videos because if I had to launch an attack against Dallas from Houston, well, thank you. I do appreciate that. I have worked on it. I've worked on it very hard to make an effective pitch, that is meaningful and effective. I just said effective like 3 times in the process of doing it, and it's not as easy as you might think. Like I've done it thousands of times now, but it's not as easy as you may think because it's a quarter of an ounce of whiskey into a cup. And before the pandemic, it was actually easier because I could speak while I'm pouring and then hand it to people and shut my mouth and let them do the evaluation of it and make their decision of purchase or not. But with the onset of the pandemic, I had to have pre-poured shots, samples in front of me. And those pre-poured samples, now I have to talk without doing anything else. And you don't see me pour it. And there's like this whole visual thing that's not happening. So now it's just like taking it and sliding it across. But sliding the sample across the barrel, like, would you like a sample of my delicious whiskey? Would you like to try my delicious whiskey? Sliding it across, you're giving them something. And there's a lot of tricks that I've learned. I don't want to call them tricks. That's probably not fair. There's a lot of techniques to sales that are very subliminal that I didn't know about when I was a customer and I know about now. And they're very, very, very subtle. Like when somebody actually holds something out to you, the natural reaction is to take it. That's what people do. When you get somebody's attention and ask them to try something, they're much more likely to try it than if you just wait for them to engage you. Whenever I see usually girls, samplers doing their work, and if I hear them say the words, "Oh, no pressure, no pressure, no pressure," you don't need to. Man, that just chaps my ass. That just absolutely chaps my ass. There's absolutely pressure. I'm here selling this whiskey today. You have a sample to have today. You can't come back later and have the sample. You can't come back tomorrow. I'm not going to be here tomorrow. There's no samples tomorrow. There's a chance I'll sell the store out now. There's no pressure, but there's an urgency of now. Try it now. You're not going to get this chance again because I'm leaving at 8. I'm leaving at 5. Whenever the shift ends, I'm gone. You're not going to try it again. You're going to leave the store. You're never going to see me. There's a really good chance you're never going to see me again. Um, so yeah, there's engagement techniques. There's a lot of psychology involved in sales, and I didn't realize it. You're never going to be able to talk somebody into buying something they don't want to buy, but you can at least convince them to act on the you can convince them to act on the urge that's already there. You can if they have the inclination to already do it, you can get the 80% yes to a 90% yes. You can nudge them along the path. You can also nudge them the other way. You can get them to go from a maybe to a no, but you can't. It's hard to get them to. Well, it's probably easier to go from a yes to a no than a no to a yes, because the negative is very powerful. But I'll probably do a whole nother video on that. Yeah, I'm reading the comments from Eric. Yeah, you did a fantastic job in that video, and I've got to say I did not watch that video. I watched the first video you sent me, but I didn't watch the second video you sent me. And I got to tell you, when you said first mistake I made was buying that bottle, man, I froze up there for a second. Like, holy shit, I should have watched this video first. Because I thought you were going to say, man, it drank easy at first, but then after that, man, this was piss water. But you made a great video. You did a great job. Guys, go, anybody watching this after the fact, go check out No Limits TV. Subscribe to his channel, hit the notification bell, do all the things. In fact, while you're here, do the same thing here. Subscribe, notification bell, leave a comment, smash all the, whatever. Do the things. It's good for you. It'll help you live 90% more satisfactory life. That's true. That's a real statistic that I just made up, which I think is how these things work sometimes. Okay, back to the map. We're going to wrap this thing up in about 5 more minutes. I just kind of want to see what's going on real quick. What on earth is going? What the hell is that? Hang on a second. Kansas just fucking declared war on me. We just had a thing happen, boys and girls. User 8591242, diplomatic status changed. Change your status from Kansas from peace to war. Kansas declared war on me. Bitches, it's on. All right. Let's go take these sons of bitches out. And now it may simply be a byproduct of this unit moving across the map. It may have been an inadvertent act of war. That's entirely possible. But in the immortal words of the great General Douglas MacArthur, we're going to fuck these guys up. All right, things got exciting at the very last moment. Where are my jets? I've got these guys. All right, we're gonna bring the noise on these motherfuckers. Come on now. He is oh yeah, he's dead. I'm bringing all the firepower out. These guys are gonna be dead. Jeez. Okay, fine. All right, so I've got to go to. All right, so we got to rally the forces out of Texas and into Kansas. So this homeboy is sitting in Odessa. That's a nice, tidy little pack of bad boys. All right, so all these little circles here are probably armored units. They're ground radar contacts. So they're probably armored units. So we're just going to go up here, bring some armor up into the field. I've got a artillery unit down here. Where's that artillery unit? There's artillery. I've got this guy, which is artillery and armor. We're just going to go on the hunt and kill. We're just going to go start taking out units as we find them. First things first, we're going to bomb Wichita. Start taking out Wichita, and then this is a stack of armor here. We're going to go for that unit there, whatever they are. Now, armor pieces cannot hold territory. The only pieces that can hold territory are infantry pieces, which is why I keep the infantry pieces in the cities that we have conquered to pacify them. This guy needs to be in Houston because Houston is still a hot mess. This fella right here, you artillery, and I need another armor stack to go with this artillery piece. Where am I going to send this artillery piece? Okay, you attack on those dudes. Make that happen, and then, all right, they're taking care of Little Rock, and that is fine. I think that's everything that I have the ability to move and do stuff with. Kansas is an AI piece, an AI position. Their player quit a while back, so I'm going to split these guys out and bring this armor up into. Oh, you know what? That artillery piece right here can use an armor piece to protect them, and I will send him over there. That should be a good first wave. We should have this wrapped up. Let's see, today's Thursday. Yeah, we should have this wrapped up by our Sunday show. Should have this wrapped up by Sunday. So what do we got here? Hi, Adonis. Cheers, brother. Your girl says the H in Houston stands for hot mess, but she's a bestiologist. So there's a word for people who do it with animals. That's a zoo beast beastified? No, pedophile. No, pedophiles children. Uh, bestiology? No, bestiology would be the study of beast. Be, uh, Bestiality. That's the word I'm thinking of. Bestiality, but that's just with animals. Now, if you want to go for just specifically beasts, like you know, uh, fantasy beasts, like minotaurs or whatever. Would sex with a minotaur be bestiality? Because he's like the upper part of him is bull, the lower part of him is human, or is that centaur? No, centaur is the horse. Would sex with a centaur be bestiality? Because like he's the bottom half is animal, the top half is human. And see, that's the opposite of a minotaur because with a minotaur, the top half is animal, the bottom half is human. And what about mermaids? Like the bottom half is fish, the top half is human. Would that be considered bestiality? Huh. These are questions that come up in the middle of the night after you've been drinking a little bit. This is what we used to do in bars when we talk to people, actual happy hour stuff. Anyway, yeah, see, that's right. The person beast as opposed to the animal beast. Yeah, see, I'm with you. I'm picking up what you're laying down. I got you. I hear you. I got you. We're we're on the same page. Okay, so things got moderately interesting with Kansas. Fuck these guys. We're gonna fuck them up. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome. We'll wrap up this mess with. I'll go ahead and declare war on Arkansas because we're about to attack them anyway. So we'll go ahead and declare war on Arkansas. We will have war with Kansas, Arkansas, and Kansas. Actually, that's one of my pet peeves. People calling it Arkansas. It's not Arkansas. It's Arkansas. And there's a reason why Arkansas is pronounced differently from Kansas. partly because Arkansas was French, and it was the same. I mean, they were similar Indian tribes, but the French pronounced the uh, Indians in the Arkansas area differently than the British, not the British, the Indians pronounced their name in Kansas. So you had uh, two different pronunciations of two different tribes because two different people reported on the names of the tribes. That is my understanding of why they have two different names, and it just absolutely drives me batshit bonkers uh, to hear Arkansas because it's so not Arkansas. Um, but that may just be the French in me coming out irrationally. All right, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, children of all ages, I'm going to call it a night because I'm tired. It's been an hour and what? Where are we at? Hour and change? Hour and a half? Are we at an hour and a half? Hour and 20 minutes. Good God. My, how time flies when you're having fun. And this game can seriously suck the time right out of the day. But be awesome to each other. Cheers, and I will see you all next week, probably Sunday. If you come and join me Sunday, I'll see you Sunday, and we will hopefully have Kansas wrapped up and move into Missouri and maybe Illinois, and then Arizona. We're coming for you, bitches. Cheers, and good night.